Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I am Demetra K, and it is the Demetra K Show, where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. I am here by myself. As I said, I would be on Friday a little later than normal, but I had something come up that I had to take care of. So sorry for my tardiness. But nevertheless, today we're going to spend a couple of minutes, hopefully not a whole hour, right? But we're going to spend a couple of minutes talking about that of Representative Jasmine Crockett and Representative Ayanna, I think that's how you say it, Pressley, tearing into the Republicans for trying to cancel DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm going to show y'all a video of them going off there on the House floor, I guess it is. So I'll wait for you guys to come on before we get started. Child of God, how you doing? It says, not our fight. DEI is for everyone but Native Black people. Yeah, it seems to be, right? Bobo, how you doing? A different view. What's going on with you? Mike, nice. I hope you are doing well. Celia, what's going on? Jersey City in the building. Alex, how are you? He says they are part of the establishment. Did you read my notes? I'm just kidding. Chanel, how are you? Hope you're doing well. You say cancel it. Okay. And Alex says they are not from Black grassroots. Well, we're definitely going to get into that. I'm going to try to be here about a half an hour or so, no longer than an hour, because I know you guys got stuff to do. It's a nice Friday afternoon. It's kind of cool here. As y'all can see, I got my sweatshirt on. As I said, I was running around, so I didn't have a chance to really change. So forgive me for that. Philly, John, how you doing? Hope you're doing well this afternoon. So again, we'll give everybody just a minute or two to filter in here. So what's the temperature in you guys' neck of the woods? Here it's 69, 70 degrees here, being Houston, which it was really hot not too long ago. And then it seems like it's getting cold. I think on Friday or Thursday or something like that, it's supposed to be like 59 degrees, which is like, yikes. It's a drastic change. I haven't, it hasn't gotten cold enough for me to sleep with my heater on. I mean, it is, but I'm like, we just got a break from the air conditioning. So I'm going to wait. I don't want to turn on my heat just yet. I want to get some sort of a break between the heating bill and the air conditioning bill. But I've been having on my onesies, with the feet and everything in the hood. I'm by myself. I ain't got no man, so I could do that kind of stuff. Corey, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. You said get rid of DEI as well. Okay. Lisa, how are you? Said 75 in San Antonio. Yeah, so that's Texas, but I guess we're probably about that here now. But it's still cool enough for me to have this sweatshirt on, because y'all know how I be sweating. So Philly, you say 35 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's yeah. Herman, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Nashville is 50, a different view. Okay. In the Mixed Radio, how you doing? Mike is say 50 degrees. Yeah. It's starting to get, cooling off, but thank God, right? It's been extremely hot. I know here anyway. So anyway, Cleveland, how you doing? It says, hello, Miss Lady, how are you doing? I no complaints. Well, I do. Okay, I'll tell you guys a story really quick before I get into it. So I have a car, right? My car. I work from home. So I never really even started. And I never used to be this bad, right? Anyway, so after about, I don't know, a month or so, I was going to drive my car, right? Just drive it. Well, it wouldn't start. Then it turns out, I guess I left the lights on at one point in time. So anyway, I got it jumped. And then as I was trying to drive it, back it up, my steering wheel wouldn't steer. It was like fighting me. So I had to call a mechanic, and he's going to come out tomorrow and see what's wrong with it. I've had it for a while. It's paid off and everything, but I'm like, I guess I should have drove it more. I think it's an electrical issue, but anyway, I ain't gonna stress out about it. It'll get fixed one way or the other. So anyway, Lucius, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. 65 in North Florida. And Candy, how are you down? And what's going on, Sister Shirley? All right, so let's get into it for a second time. So anyway, I saw, and I'm gonna show y'all a video compilation that I put together. Representative Crockett and Representative Pressley, they're pretty upset. As you guys know, the Republicans, they have the House. They had it anyway before the elections, but they have it, this next coming term. They'll have the House, the Senate, and of course the presidency. So I guess there's some in this the House. They want to get rid of DEI in the government and some parts of education and other sectors. throughout the United States. So diversity, equity, inclusion, which basically gives a fair shot to marginalized people. They, say it's supposed to help Black people, but it's like affirmative action, right? It's never helped Black people to the tune of how it's helped white women, right? They're the ones that benefit from DEI and they still benefit from it. But I guess they took exception to a couple of things that happened during that hearing. And I guess they're becoming dangerously close to getting rid of it. So I'll get into that a little bit more. But I'm going to show y'all the video. It's about 4 minutes long of them really, giving it to them. Ashley, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. The first ethnic Tootinese, how are you? Bakari, thank you. How you doing? And Abdi, I hope you're doing well. He says, what? Food stamps for our poor? Yeah, give me some. I'll take some. So anyway, let's listen to this video and then we're going to get into it.
You can then misuse words like oppression. There has been no oppression for the white man in this country. You tell me which white men were dragged out of their homes. You tell me which one of them got dragged all the way across an ocean and told that you are going to go and work. We are going to steal your wives. We are going to rape your wives. That didn't happen. That is oppression. We didn't ask to be here. We're not the same migrants that y'all constantly come up against. We didn't run away from home. We were stolen. So yeah, we are going to sit here and be offended when you want to sit here and act like, and don't let it escape you that it is white men on this side of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, that y'all are the ones being oppressed, that y'all are the ones that are being harmed.
Having sat and read the text in preparation for today's markup, I have yet another example to tell my constituents about the unserious work of the Republican Party. Now, I'll work with anyone serious about progress who wants to center the people who call this country home. This isn't it. The Committee on Oversight has the broadest jurisdiction in the entire House of Representatives to investigate any topic it chooses, but we are debating legislation that denies the sky is blue, water is wet, and racism is real. The major provision of the bill says to ban anything that acknowledges racism. And a few pages later in the exact same bill, there are multiple provisions discussing the presence of racism. This Republican approach is as predictable as it is nonsensical. On one hand, they're saying that racism does not exist. On the other hand, they are saying there is rampant reverse racism. Well, how do you reverse something that never existed in the first place? Riddle me that. While this Republican policy may have a new name, it's the same old tired game. Look, y'all are entitled to your opinions, but not a denial of the facts. Do you all know your history? Do you know American history? The original Constitution counted enslaved individuals as 3/5 of a person. During World War II, the federal government forcibly relocated and incarcerated 110,000 Japanese Americans. The FHA practiced redlining in the 1930s and 60s to deny mortgages to Black Americans, which is why we have a racial wealth gap today. I could go on. The GI Bill, which is supposed to be race neutral, denied access to Black Americans, denying them equal access to education and housing benefits, which is why we do not have generational wealth. Don't talk to me about merit when those Black servicemen fought for our freedoms. And I'd also just like to take a personal note of privilege to say, please keep Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s name out of your mouths. Yes. Your perversion of his words and his mission when his children have asked you to stop invoking his name and perverting his work when he was a proud and unapologetic Black man fighting for equality for Black Americans and all marginalized people. So you all are entitled to your opinions, but not a denial of the facts. But I'm not surprised that you would deny American history. What I am, though, is committed. Committed to speaking truth to power, committed to standing up for marginalized communities and vulnerable people, committed to ensuring that everyone has equal opportunity to buy a house, to work a job, to pursue higher education, and to live in a society that is fair and just.
Got it. So I'm going to remove them. Hopefully everybody had a chance to see them. So just a reiteration, they're mad because the Republicans in the House want to, get rid of DEI. And I'm going to read to you a snippet of what basically is going on. And this is coming from the Daily Wire. It says on Wednesday, the House Oversight Committee passed Texas Representative Michael Clow's dismantle DEI Act. I guess that's the name of it, on a party line vote, sending the bill to a full vote. The 48-page bill, which the Daily Wire first reported on in June, would not only target federal offices and personnel, but also contractors, training, education, grants, and more, and ensure equal protection of the law to prevent racism in federal government. Now, it also says J.D. Vance introduced the Senate version of the bill before he joined President Donald Trump to campaign. It goes on to say DEI initiatives falsely, this is a quote, falsely claim to promote fairness, but instead institutionalizes division, inefficiency, and discrimination. Cloud told the Daily Wire on Wednesday, these policies waste taxpayers' dollars while eroding the merit-based principles that have been the cornerstone of America's success. So the Republicans are basically saying we need to get rid of it because it's not fair. It should be merit-based, right? Like if you have the ability to do the job or get into a school, whatever it is, it should be ability-based, not because of your color or your gender or whatever it is, right? So I see quite a few of you guys liking the Spitfire that came from those ladies, and I like the Spitfire too. And of course, y'all know I got a problem with some of the Spitfire, and I'm going to acknowledge everybody that's come on here in just a second. The problem that I have is, well, for one, I concede everything they're saying. Yeah, white people are going to negate the real racism. And as she said, how can you do a reverse racism and deny that racism exists all in the same sentence? Because they're basically saying reverse racism is that, oh, we as white people, we're being, I guess racism is coming toward us because we're being left out. A lot of these things, DEI does not include us. That's what I guess white people are saying. But she's saying, well, you know, that's not true. Of course, she went on, she being a Representative Pressley, went through our history of the things that ills black people. But I don't know if y'all noticed how she kept saying black Americans and other marginalized groups of people. See, the problem I have with that statement is Jasmine Crockett and Ayanna Presseley, y'all been fighting for the marginalized people. Y'all rarely have been fighting for black people in America. Y'all might say something every now and again because, you know, you're black, but y'all have not been truly fighting for black Americans. So now what they want to do is pretend by lumping all of us together, black Americans with the other marginalized people. And you heard her mention the Japanese, who they have gotten reparations, right? They got reparations for being in those internment camps. So I don't even know why she's mentioning them, but they like to lump us all together, pretending like the marginalized group of people or black Americans have gotten nothing, and we all have been, you know, held under the thumb of white supremacy. That might be true to a small degree, but all those other people that she mentioned, they have gotten compensated for the things that happened to them in America, but black people never have been compensated. But yet there they are, especially Pressley, want to group all of us together and pretend. That's that all lives matter thing. Y'all got to pay attention to that and pretend like, oh, well, you know, everybody is going to be harmed by this. But it's like, nah, sis, y'all been fighting for the everybody else. You name it, LGBTQ, women, that's a marginalized group of people, immigrants, and everybody else have been getting fought for. But black Americans, not so much. But there she is trying to pretend like she cares about us. The other problem that I have with them, with all the rah-rah, you saw Jasmine Crockett, she's hopping up and, you know, she hopping mad up and down in her chair. But it's like, why y'all wait till now? Why y'all wait till now? Oh, y'all waiting till now because Trump is getting in there on January 20th, and he got all his cabinet stacked. And yeah, most of them are white, except for a couple of, you know, Indians or whatever the case is. But for the most part, they probably think they white. So let's say they all white, right? You got all the white people in office, and they come in like a wrecking ball, right? They're going to do whatever it is they got to do, including get rid of DEI. They've been having an issue with DEI since it was called affirmative action, right? That's not a secret. We know that Edward Blum took the Asians to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court got rid of the educational component of affirmative action because they thought that it benefited us, but it never did. It benefited white people, or white women, I should say, the most, and it's still hurting the Asian community because now the legacy kids, if you were students, are getting in. They're the real ones with the DEI because their mom and daddy got some money. so they can get into these colleges on the strength of them having money, not merit, because there's a whole lot of silly rich people that go to school, right? They get to get in because they mom and daddy are loaded. But anyway, why is Jasmine Crockett and Ayanna, I think that's how you say it, Ayanna, why are they so mad now? Because you see what's coming up the road. But y'all have 4 years with a Democrat president, and then for a time y'all have both, right? The Senate and the House. Why y'all waiting now to be getting hopping mad, and now y'all want to do something? If y'all haven't been paying attention, Biden is now getting all these judges, these federal judges, confirmed, right? Getting them in place, lifetime placement. It's like, what take you so long? Why you waiting now? Because y'all see that Trump is coming in and he's gonna do whatever he wants. But it's like, you what are you mad for? Y'all should have been trying to do something. But see, they were so busy opening up these floodgates, letting all these immigrants come up in here, funding all these wars, but not paying attention, as Bernie Sanders said, to the working class people, ignoring Black people, saying, hey, we want our reparations. They've been doing for everybody else. And now all of a sudden, they want to get us ginned up. See, the problem, though, with us is they know that we are so emotional. All we have to do is listen to those ladies, you know, listen, I don't disagree with what they said. Let's be clear. In my Kamala voice, let's be very clear. I don't disagree with what they said. I have a problem of their timing, and I also have a problem of them trying to use Black people to lump us in with the marginalized people that they've been helping. They have been helping the marginalized people. Let's not get that twisted. But now they want us to get all upset and emotional by using us. Because before they wasn't even saying Black Americans and marginalized, or Black Americans and people of color. They were saying people of color or minorities. Remember when they were saying that, and then they got away from that, use people of color. Now they're trying to separate us, but then act like our problems are all the same. So I'm going to call flag on the field for both of those ladies, because if Trump didn't go to office and didn't win the election, would they be doing all that? Would they be mad? Would they be screaming and hollering at the Republicans trying to get rid of DEI? Would they be mad at that? And as a lot of y'all said, DEI for what? What good does that do us as Black people? It's never done us any good. What we're essentially doing is begging white people to allow us to be in their organizations when they don't want us there. Never have and never do and never will want us there. But instead of them two ladies saying, hey, we got the floor here, we got a little bit of power, let's figure out how to put some more money into Black Americans' hands so they don't have to beg the white man to work in their businesses. They won't do that. They want to keep that carrot on a string dangling in front of Black people so we can be mad, that white people won't include us in their stuff. That's like you saying somebody knocking on your door and say, hey, you need to open the door and let me come on in there. What side of the bed you sleep on? Oh, the right side of the bed. Okay, I want that side of the bed. You should let me have it, just because you got to slam the door in their face and be like, go get your own house with your own bed, and you can decide what side of the bed you sleep on, right? I mean, let's keep it a buck. So I want to get into the comment section and see what y'all say about all of that. And thank you all for being here on this Friday afternoon, evening with me. Okay, so let's see who came on while I was talking. So Corey, you said you're good. So DEI is not for FBA. Okay, I like that. Philly, you say she's the female Al Sharpton. Yes, are you talking about Jasmine Crockett? Brother Don, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Fat Son, what's going on with you? A different view says, get them, sis, she's on fire. So you're talking about the ladies as they were speaking. Like I said, I don't have a problem with what they're saying. It's just it's the timing and them trying to lump us together, right? And the first ethnic Tooties, he says, oh Lord, POC, there you go, right? Hey Pop, how you doing? Long time no see you. But what's going on with you? Says you better preach, sister. I felt everywhere. So you're talking about the ladies when they were speaking. And Philly says, I love her bald head, very bold. Yeah, I mean, I think she had alopecia, so she was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna stop pretending and just going to shave it off. I bet it was very freeing for her to do that. So it takes a lot of courage. You also say Martin, his real name is Michael, if you really want to tell it. Okay. Oh, yeah. You're talking about MLK. He's actually was named Michael, but yeah, his dad named him. I forget why he named him Martin, but you're absolutely right. Nina, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Says, why don't they fight for reparations? Frank, what's going on with you? Crazy. Talking about why she bald-headed. She had alopecia. That's why. Mexico, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Mikey says, Ayanna represents Massachusetts. Okay, that's right. A different view says, let's not get on Tennessee. Yes, owing Tennessee State University $2.1 billion for underfunding. Well, I kind of read it differently, that they were giving them money. Obviously not $2.1 billion, right? But some money, but it sounds like for whatever reason, they had to lay off a bunch of people because they can't keep up with the budget. So they're very underfunded, I guess. But I did see something about that. Let's see. Hey, Easy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Buckhorse, what's going on with you? And Nina says they sound like fools. The first ethnic, he says, yes, please, if y'all could hit like, I love it. Appreciate you for that. Philly says, please don't serve us. We need an FBA bill only. Yeah, but that's how they do. They try to lump us all together because they know most people is gonna, we're gonna get caught up on the rah-rah, the you tell them, girls. But it's like, really listen to what they're saying and when they're saying it. I know Jasmine, she's kind of been outspoken, especially when it came to defending Biden and Hunter. But as far as, all of that for Black people's, like, why y'all waiting until now? Y'all getting on it now, ain't you? Appointing all these judges and stuff, all, at the 11th hour and stuff. But why wasn't you doing it already? Because I guess they thought Kamala or Biden, if he was going to run, was going to win. I don't know. Ashley, he says it will not be school for Black people in the future. Yeah, we got to make our own schools like we used to back in the day when we couldn't go to their schools, like way back in the day. We have to educate our own people, Yakobe says, okay. Okay. So if they would have passed the hate crime bill, this wouldn't be an issue. That too. The Asians got a hate crime bill. She mentioned the Japanese. Japanese are protected class of citizen here in the United States, and they got reparations for being in those internment camps. Black people, what do we get? We were in the biggest internment camp called plantations, right? And they talk about get over it. Or we gonna do some studies. I didn't hear them say nothing about no study of reparations. They mad at the Republicans because, they talking about their being oppressed, but I didn't hear them say anything about reparations. They did mention the wealth gap, but okay, but how are we gonna close that wealth gap? JJ, you say, where are the white women, Hispanics, Asians supporting her speech? Good question, right? Easy says they didn't spit fire right when it's needed. They doing it now because it's, Biden and Kamala about to be leaving up out of there, and Trump is coming there with the fury, for lack of better words. And Mesca says, girl, bye. Here's a little quote for the Democrats. The best fighters are never angry. The Democrats are not good fighters. Yeah, they're not. They get into action, toward the end of things. It's like you appointing all these judges. What was taking you so long? You should have been did it because they know once Trump get in there, he going to put all those right-wing judges in place. And those are lifetime appointments, by the way. So it's like, what took y'all so long to do it? Why? Because I guess maybe they thought that they were going to demonize Trump to the point of, nobody's going to want to vote for him. We'll just continue doing what, what I'm saying? They didn't even try to stop what they were doing. They tried to slow down the immigration a little bit, but it wasn't enough, But I guess they were so cavalier in thinking that Trump wasn't going to get in office. We got time. We'll do another 4 years and then we'll think about doing some things, but they should have been putting those judges in place. Nina says, yeah, right. Makes them sound makes them sound like fools. What you're trying to say? Easy says they put everyone else in our fight. They always do, but they know we ain't gonna be paying attention. We just because we get caught up on style and how people are saying it, right? Like a pastor would. He's like, glory. And he could say that the whole 20 hours he's giving his sermon, and then after the sermon, you can say, well, damn, what was he talking? Y'all was in church a long time. What was he talking about? I don't know, but it was good. His show was good. The motherboard was just fanning away. It was so good. They couldn't even tell you what he was talking about. Same thing. Now, Pop, you up in here wilding. Queen Adia, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Micah says, Factual Friday, continue, Demetri. All right, now. The first ethnic says they use us as a Trojan horse and discard us. Yeah, but we gotta be smarter than that. Absolutely, Philly. And Patty Brown, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Queen Adia says they know who melanated people really are. Yep. And Philly says, why black folks mad? We need better qualified black folks. Look at these damn mayors. Yeah. So I'm saying everybody mad at the cabinet picks, Trump, but it's like you mad at them because they all white. But what about your leadership in your city? The mayor is black. City council is black. The aldermen, everybody's black, but your potholes is deep. The resources is none. You know, in your neighborhood, the crime is through the roof. But you mad about Trump and who he putting in office, but you're not mad at your mayor for bringing a whole lot of immigrants. And I'm not talking about Chicago because they still beating the drum. But I'm just saying in general, but that's because they know us as black people, especially when it comes to politics. As has been said, we are very immature and we get excited over the propaganda and the rhetoric. But if we just stop and say, wait a minute, they want me to be mad because Trump got all these white people. It looked like a snowstorm, it's so white. All these white people in his cabinet, but then I lose focus on the black politicians that's got my town dilapidated. See, we got to be a little bit more mature in our thinking when it comes to that. Like, stop taking the dog. You know how you throw a bone, a dog just chases. It doesn't think. It says, has that bone been pre-licked? Has another dog been eating that bone? The dog don't do that. Just runs after the bone. See, we can't be that dog. We got to stop. When we see them throw the bone, say, okay, what kind of bone is it? Before I even think about running after it, right? We got to get like that. Poppy say, was that Race Jones' sister? You crazy. You talking about Grace Jones now, you need to stop. Yikaway says, white people in full weren't poaching and taking out sea turtles, but a bill was still passed. Right, you talking about to protect the sea turtles. And Easy says, these Asians think it's all about test scores. Yeah, and it's not. It's about money and a whole host of other things, and just about being white. Kelly, how you doing? So they always like to get mad and pretend to do something when it's too late. There you go. I'm glad you're paying attention. Buckhorse says, we work 10 times harder now. It's going to pay off. My people ain't scared. You better believe it. We ain't scared. Our heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. Queen of Diet says, those who parents have taken care of the school financially are shooing. Yep, y'all talking about the legacy thing. So let me skip down because I'm a little bit behind. Marcus, how you doing? Says, America is running out of time to right the wrong. Oh yeah, they've been out of time. What's coming is coming regardless, right? All right, so let's see. Country Life, how you doing? It says, oh, you in Jamaica? How you doing? Conscious Ether, what's going on with you? It says Pressley is not Black American. She's not. Okay, so she's Haitian. Okay, but she used the term Black American a lot when she was speaking, right? Queen of Dice says the books of Yo, hello. So I messed that up. Sorry. You named a whole bunch of books I can't read, but I do recognize Yashar and Obadiah. Yep, I recognize those. Says, told them who melanated people are. They know the truth and can't handle the truth. Okay. Pop says, cut the MF checks. Japanese got theirs and we want ours now. God. Yes. But of course, it says, we're going to win. We always win regardless. Our God is God. You better believe it. Yep. All right. So Cleveland says, I like you. I like you. I like what you're talking about. And it's true. All right. Well, I like you too. And I saw what you said about my car. I don't think my car has a steering wheel fluid. I think it's electric or something like that. So it's an electrical issue. I'm like, I don't feel like going to get no new car because I ain't going to drive it. And the potholes here in Houston are terrible. I'd have to give me like a monster truck or something. Poppy crazy. Easy says, D, why are they not speaking out about all the discrimination going on in workforce with Black folks applying for jobs, but the Hispanics in HR denying us and only look out for their people? Because the Democrats are the reason why that's going on. They're the ones that's ushering a lot of them in, the country. I know a lot of them are here legally, right? But there's a lot of them who are not. They're the party that's for all of that. So that's why they're not saying anything. Now they're pretending like they care about Black people because Kamala got her behind handed to her this last election. And that also spells a disaster for them as well, because all the Democrats in the House and the Senate, they have a voice, and they would only hope that some Republicans would join them. But let's say all the Republicans decide to vote one way. The Democrats are screwed. So now they're trying to pretend like they care because their voice is going to be null and void after January 20th when a new session is sworn in, Oh, Frankie said you didn't know about her head being bald. Yeah, alopecia, from what I understand. Daryl, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. That guy from Texas, what's going on with you? Don't need no man. Stop telling me I do. I hope you're having a great day. Sister Shirley said Jasmine Crockett and Ayanna Presseley want us to get angry because Trump won the election. Yeah, I mean, what are we going to be mad for 4 years? Or are we going to, dig our heels in and get to work? That's really the question, right? And Easy says discrimination on these jobs in Houston is off the charts, and I hear nobody talking about it. Yeah, but who's in charge in Houston? It's the Democrats, aren't they? Aren't they mostly in charge? So why aren't they looking at? See, they say they looking out for you during election time, but when they get in office, it's like, I don't know you. The first ethic, he says, we should push for the end of legacy admission and watch the excuses roll in. Yeah. Or we could push to go to our own schools. There's HBCUs. I know most of them are named after white people, whatever the case is, but they're still supposed to be for us nevertheless, right? But now it's getting to the point to where a lot of other people are going there that don't look like us because they're like, well, shit, if y'all don't want to go, then we'll go, But we need to be forward thinking in creating our own institutions of learning, because at those universities, the predominantly white institutions, they're not going to teach you about yourself. Carter G. Woodson told us that in The Miseducation of the Negro. He says, y'all go off to these white institutions and they teach you from a white point of view. In a sense, they teach you about whiteness, but then when you go back to your black community, you can't use any of that. And white people ain't going to hire you to do the whatever your major is, the way they taught you. They're still not going to hire you. So you're kind of stuck in limbo. So you might as well have stayed at home and figure out how to make things better for your people. Because we went off and got all these fancy degrees, but we forgot about the auto mechanic, laundromats, cleaners, grocery stores, and, a whole host of things that we need on a regular basis. But now we go to the Asians for the cleaners, Paco and them to get our cars fixed, because the black mechanic, he's still around, but not like he used to be. My dad is a mechanic. He's been his whole life, but he's 80 now. So he ain't going to be lifting up no transmissions or whatever like he used to be, right? So I'm not saying we shouldn't go get education. Hell, I got 2 degrees, you know what I mean? But we need to learn how to do the stuff that we pay other people to do with the money we earn from these fancy degrees. So, but we should be thinking about our own stuff. Poppy says Crockett looked like looking for a zaddy. I don't know nothing about that lady. You crazy. I'm gonna skip down. Yeah, Bakari, we all we got. And sooner or later, we'll realize that. Quita, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Joy, what's going on with you? Cincinnati, how you doing? Jupiter, what's going on? He says, all the Democrat shields talking a lot of noise and buffoonery. The problem is they are so out of touch with reality. Yeah, and they think we are too, because truthfully, we have been for a while, right? Bakari says, the Boolean and black gatekeepers don't hold our minds and attentions. Not like they used to. We are slipping away, slipping into darkness, right? Well, not darkness, into the light. Buckhorse says, and they miss their goddamn guess what? And current affairs with Sarah, how you doing? It says, of course, they won't fight for reparations. The real intention of Black Caucus is for Black people to be at the bottom and for us to be sustained on the Democrats' plantation. Yeah, because they still need us. They tried to act like they didn't need our vote, but they see they needed our vote, right? But yeah, that's the goal, is to keep us there. Because as long as we're dependent on them, we'll never leave. We'll be lifers, And Jupiter says, don't let them use that gaslighting dark psychology to get your emotions. Them Democrat shills like Jasmine and rest trying to use revolution to fight for everyone but us. Yep. Shan, how you doing? Easy says, Democrats are only good in grandstanding and appointing people of color to so-called important powerless positions. Yep. And Child of God, how you doing? Oh, I said hello to you. I said hello again. He says, Biden has a Black Secretary of Defense, and he's been, yes, funding. He says, nonsense this whole time, sending weapons of genocide in Gaza, Black ambassadors to the UN, vetoing all sorts of peace initiatives. And I heard they lost a couple of $1 trillion somewhere at the Pentagon. Like they don't know where it's at. Now, I didn't say $1 million or $1 billion, but $1 trillion. It's just, I don't know where it is. Just want to put that out there. Shan says, how to make a cake. Can you pick up my mom? She's sick and in the hospital. What? Emmett, how you doing? Says, ain't no meat on that bone, right? The dog bone, right? But we just go chasing her before we even realize, like, this is nasty. All right, so let me skip down. Sky Dancer, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Brother Thunder, how you doing? You enjoying this weather? See, I got my sweatshirt on. and I'm not sweating or anything like that. So I'm enjoying it. Poppy says, you better stop calling this lady out her name. Walt, how you doing? Says, we need your rational voice to keep us on point. You slap us awake. Well, just a little. But I need y'all to. So, but thank you. Nikki, how you doing? Says, they need to be canceled. They didn't do nothing for this administration. Yeah, now they trying to act like we doing something. Because, they have to be reelected every 2 years. I don't know if y'all know that. In Congress, every 2 years, representative, they have to be elected. So they're always in campaign mode. So now they're probably like, let us pretend that we're doing something. Because if Kamala got handed to her like that, it's a matter of time before we get it. So let's pretend like we really got something going on. But we ain't stupid. We hear exactly what they're saying and what they're not doing all at the same time. Yikuboya says, I heard Kamala was chilling in Hawaii and ain't studying them no more. Yeah, what else can she do? Right? The gig is up. Thunder says, what anyone sees in the interview with the illegal migrant on the Houston News who owns a business says, when asked, was he afraid of Trump's deportation? He's out in the open and said, no, but let that be me. Yeah, I saw that. He said he's not, he ain't worried. I guess he's like, I ain't going nowhere. It remains to be seen, right? You got a whole business and everything. But like you said, that'd have been you. The interview wouldn't have even been over good before they better put a net over you. Come on, you're coming with us. Darnell, you say the Democrats are not worried about us. They have done for everyone except for us. And when they wake up to the bull, they act surprised, but none of them have our best interest. Nope, never have, never will. Frederick, how you doing? Say they know where it's at. Kenneth, how are you? Thank you. And Easy says, don't be fooled on people with titles. They are the biggest thieves. Absolutely. Yes, Pop, be nice. I don't want to have to whoop you. Arson, how you doing? Says, good evening. How great to run into you on a Friday. Same here. Says, I don't know anything about the subject, but as you know, I will always vote for the best for Blacks in America. Yeah, that's what we should be doing, right? No matter who it is. And the other thing too, yeah, I guess it'd be nice if Trump selects some Black people, but then that's getting caught up on identity politics. And that's kind of a problem in our community. When we vote, we get caught up on identity politics. Well, I'm going to vote for the Black one. Great. But you're going to vote for them for 30, 40, 50 years and they are doing nothing? At what point do you get tired of it and say, oh, okay, I'm going to switch up. I'm going to try something else, because we would hope that, Trump gets the people in there that's going to do what they're supposed to do. And I don't know if y'all saw Matt Gaetz, who was selected to be the attorney general. He stepped down because he's been accused of doing something strange with some kids. You know what I mean? So he was like, he don't want to continue being a distraction. But the truth of the matter is he probably was going to have a hard time getting confirmed because even a lot of Republicans was like, no, he ain't it. He messing with underage girls, allegedly, is what they're saying, right? Allegedly. So we don't want those problems. So it's not to say, I guess all Republicans aren't bad, just like all Democrats aren't good. You know what I mean? There's some that's got some sense like, we still got a little bit of a reputation to uphold. We don't want potential, child, to be up in here. At the attorney general, he's the law. He would be the law of the land. And you can't be the law of the land if you're messing with people's daughters that ain't of age, I'm just saying. So he selected some other lady. I don't know who she is exactly. I think she was an attorney or something like that, DA, I think, in Florida somewhere. And they're saying that Trump paid her off $25,000 for some organization to make his something about his school go away. So who knows, right? Let's see. Shannon says, I meant to say you can send a shout out to got you. So to your mother, she's sick in the hospital. Hello, dear mother. I hope that you get better and get better really fast. We are praying for you and we are hoping for the best. But we know that Shan does not want you in there, and we know you don't want to be in there. So yes, we are going to pray for your speedy recovery. So Shan, keep us updated with that. But mother, do get some rest and just do what you got to do to get out of there. Hey, Diane, how are you doing? Child of God, it says they always act like they're for something when there's no chance they could do it, right? Just screaming and hollering. Jasmine she hopping mad. It's like, girl, if you don't sit down, your chair ain't got no hydraulics, sit down. Matthew, how you doing? Says they better come now before the election. Yeah, they better do something because when Trump get in there, you know what I'm saying? And I know they keep saying, we tried to tell you. It's like, no, we tried to tell you. Do what you got to do so you can get people to vote for you, but you didn't. You being a Democrat, so this is what you got, right? And a lot of people are like, listen, we're just trying to get back to the money. That's it. Because what's going to happen in this country is going to happen whether we like it or not. But we all like to get back to the money as much as we can, you know? I don't know. But of course, as Miss K, I'm paying attention to the Ruskies. He says, has World War III been declared now? Because it's looking real serious now. I saw, I think it was Britain, if I'm not mistaken, was like, yeah, if we had to get in there tonight, we would. So yeah, you're starting to see a lot of other countries start to talk about, yeah, we gearing up, yeah, we ready to go, we'll do what we got to do. Russia also said Putin, as a matter of fact, he's basically talking to the United States. It's like, oh, and we got something for whoever gave those weapons to Ukraine. Yeah, we got something for you too. You meaning us. Like I said, I hope they're very strategic when they aim those missiles. I'm just saying, because I ain't got nothing to do with it. Lamico, I hope I said the right. How you doing? He says, what up, though? Demetra here from Toledo via Detroit. What's up? Yokoboy says, and how they gonna make money denying our people to get in debt at the banks, redlining, hurting their pocket as well? Because that's what they always do, you know. They always have and always will. I'm just saying. Sherry, how you doing? Says they interviewed an illegal immigrant in New York and they asked him the same thing. Are you worried about getting deported? He said, no, my wife just had a baby, and laughed. These people are so entitled. This is why they should be stopped. They should stop. Says birthright citizenship is not meant for them anyway. Only African slaves back in the day. So they're having all these babies so they can stay. Yeah, but Trump said he's getting rid of that too. He's like, you having these babies here, y'all all got to go. If you had the baby here and you wasn't supposed to be here, yeah, you might have to leave, you know. But it all remains to be seen. Easy says Gates had a lot of evidence on him. Yeah, so it's like, you know. But I think we forget they are the great grandsons and daughters of the founding fathers of this wicked nation. So we're not shocked that they're choosing wickedness to rule the nation. The nation was built on wickedness. So nothing's changed. Nothing's new, you know. But again, the Democrats didn't do what they needed to do to minimize the damage. They kept right on. Business as usual, ignoring the plight of American people. And here we are, you know, but I just impress upon us to be wise. Don't be scared. What you scared of? Black people have survived any and everything that's come at us since we've been on and off of those plantations. So this little 4 years Trump got going on is not going to kill us. You know what I mean? This is time for us to wake up and do for self, like for real, like our ancestors used to do. And Easy, I did watch that documentary. I don't know if I said it the other day. The American Coup 1898 was a very good documentary about Wilmington, North Carolina, where they basically did a massacre, a race massacre. They call it a riot, as they say, but a riot entails that, you know, Black people are going wild, but a massacre is actually what it was. And they did that to gain political power because Black people had the more political power back then in North Carolina. And then the KKK, white supremacist party is what they were called, decided to lie on Black people and use the white woman as usual. You know, they trying to do this to the white woman and all kind of stuff. And the rest is history. So it's another moment in time, a moment in American history where Black people had everything stolen from them in the name of wickedness. So there you have it. Darnell says, I'm happy we didn't fall for their crap like when Obama was selected. Every brother ain't a brother. Bars. Yes. Yeah. And Obama, his street credibility is gone. Obama, I don't think he could ever come out and speak to Black people again without being laughed at. After the stunt that he pulled when he was pointing his finger at Black men, you know. Thunder says, I think Matt was a distraction while Trump gets the real AG ready. Yeah, some white lady. I can't remember her name, but she looked like them. Not a surprise, you know. Shan says, my thing is if she knows she's underage, why would she want to mess with an older man like that? Because a lot of times these younger girls think they're grown. They think they're grown, but as I always say, it's always going to be on the adult to be the adult and say, little girl, I don't think so. It's always, or little boy, because women do it too. It's on the adult to be the adult. The onus is never going to be on the child. That's why they're considered a minor, because they, per some ideologies, aren't intellectually that of an adult. They don't have enough life experiences to make decisions that adults make. So, but it's always going to be on the adult to say, no, little girl, I know you like me. Because, a lot of young girls have crushes on their teachers and stuff like that. But if the little kid goes up to the teacher's supposed to say, sit down, sit down, or whatever. It's not, and he's not supposed to acquiesce that. So I just want to be clear about that. She's a minor. Matt Gaetz, if he indeed did that, the onus is on him. Aquarius Cox, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So this is your first time. Well, welcome. Hey, Craig, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Marcus, you said, speaking of money, pick up some. You say XRP crypto before 2025. Don't sleep. Okay, let me write that down. So I have to look into it. Easy says, I hear the vault in Moscow is revealing more artifacts, got European Union angry. I haven't heard any more about that, but I'm sure it does, right? Those artifacts belong to us. Matthew says, I'm tired of Democrat Party mouthing off at Republicans. Have a doo-doo agenda for FBA's Freeman's. Right? No, they won't. They just but it's kind of like it's a little too late, But of course, she says, thank you, Ms. K. Sounds all hell broke loose again. It's about to if it hasn't. Sounds like Biden is trying to set it off before he leaves up out of here. Let me go. He said, okay, I got it right. Okay, because I be jacking people's names up. It took me forever to get Arson's name right. Speaking of arson, says extremely premature question over here. Do you think that the Democrats from the votes of these last elections got the clear message and will specifically address blacks in the future, or no? I think their ears are opening, but I don't think they got them. I think they got the message, but I don't think they're believers, which is why we can't let up. Which is why we can't say, "Whoo, that was close." We got to keep on. We got to keep on pushing this knowledge out there, waking our people up and saying, at the end of the day, we deserve better. We deserve at least what everybody else is getting. We don't deserve to be told no while everybody else is being told yes, right? So I think they already got the message, but I think they're probably thinking, oh, well, we can schmooze them back in, right? We can, buddy up to them. And get black people on board again. I think that's what they're thinking, but it's like, nah, you're going to lose even more of the black vote if you don't get us what we want, especially the ones in California that sabotage the reparations vote. Oh, we ain't forgotten. We just getting started. See, because we didn't have that much time. People are going to vote for them. We're going to vote for them, but we got 2 years because they're reelected every 2 years as well. We got 2 years to say, how y'all doing? Y'all remember what they did? When they sabotaged the reparations vote, when they didn't even take it to the floor, your black Democratic misleadership. Remember when they did that? See, that's what we're going to work on to get the word out that, they got to go. So, well, they know how impactful we were, but I don't think they're believers. Thunder says, family, they are telling Eastern Europe nations how to prepare for nuclear fallout, conflict. Why are the mainstream media here in the States not doing the same? That's a good question. But you know what? To your point, Thunder, we should be paying attention to that. How many people are just completely checked out? How many people are going to go out tonight? It's payday for a lot of people. You're going to go out and you get a party and you don't even know that, people talk about nukes. Like they're legitimately talking about that. That was something that was supposed to never happen, right? Which is kind of how Ukraine is in the situation it's in. United States, when Bill Clinton was in office, along with Britain and Russia, they talked Ukraine out of their nuclear weapons. They said, hey, get rid of them. We'll take care of you if anything happens. And then Russia was like, yeah, hold my beer. We the thing that's about to happen, right? So now United States feel compelled to give them all this money and stuff. But yeah, if you're not aware of what's going on at this point, it's because you don't want to be. But I agree with you, Thunder. They should be really talking about that. Like, here's what you need to do. Now, Alma, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And Darnell says the Lord will take care of us. Yeah, that is true. The Lord will take care of us. But the Lord says, I gave y'all instructions. I gave you instructions that I will take care of you, but I told you how to take care of yourself as well. So now it's our turn, you know? GP, how you doing? Says this stream was my first suggestions. Again, you better believe it. Says, but I can't stay because I have to catch a flight to carry out an assignment. Y'all take it easy. Okay, now you take it easy and safe travels. Darnell says, we the people of the Bible. Oh, absolutely. So if you believe that, then you believe we've been hard-headed. And we need to actually do what we were supposed to be doing so many years ago, right? But of course says, I'm not afraid. I'm cool. I know that's right. Easy says North Carolina was Black strong. Yeah, they had a majority of Black people there. From what the documentary is, beautiful documentary. Thank you for recommending that to me. I love documentaries. Beautiful in the sense that it was put together and the truth that it told, but horrible. And sometimes I don't like to watch those things because it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad on a number of reasons, for a number of reasons rather. But it also reminded that, hey, you know, we are great people. We just need to get back on track like our ancestors were back then, because even then they fought back. They didn't lay down and take it. See, history would like us to think, oh, our ancestors just tucked tail and ran like, I'm scared. No, they fought back even to the death, a lot of them. So, you know, we just need to tap into that, you know. The first ethnic, it says, if they have a couple of trillions to lose, they definitely have several dozens to give. You come on now. Marcus says, I'm currently in Europe. Sweden drops that pamphlet all the time. See, they need to be dropping them out here. Corey says, exactly. Marcus, she says, a nuclear war pamphlet is Sweden protocol. When people start talking spicy, no one else is tripping. Yeah, we need those pamphlets just once, right? FM, how you doing? Says John Hopkins, evacuation in Syria. Say they have an alphabet thousands of years before the Egyptians. White supremacy on the BS again, as always. Enlighten, how you doing? Says, since there are 17-year-olds that look much older than they are and they are able to produce false identification, please let's not pretend all 17-year-old are innocent and naive. No, I mean, I'm not saying that they don't do ill things. Trust me. I was 17 once, not that I did it, but I know 17-year-olds who did, you know. I know 17-year-olds who went with older men, you know. But there's this thing called statutory. Now, listen, this is going to sound real harsh coming from me. Yes, I know children, because a 17-year-old's a child, okay? They do things because they think they're grown, but that's also if you court people and get to ask questions, hey, let me go meet your mama. Let me go meet your daddy. You know what I mean? Because I know 17-year-olds can look older, but do they look like grown? You know what I mean? I know, especially nowadays, got a lot of makeup and wigs and all that other stuff. But that, if you ask to stop and say, hey, can I meet your mom, your dad before I jump into bed with you? I think that would cut down on all of it. Because for one, she's going to be like, well, you know, because she know damn well, unless her mom and daddy on something extra, her mom and daddy ain't going to cut for no man with no fully grown beard. You know, in a 1979 Cadillac outside, they're going to be like, what is you doing with my daughter? She's a minor. Oh, really? You know, so you do ask a little bit more questions than looking at her body or whatever, then you'll figure out that she's a kid. I promise you. I'm just saying. King Shaw, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. He says, I wish they say Black people reparations with the anger and energy. You know what I'm saying? But again, people going to get caught up on all the style. You know, they was really giving it to them. They was really mad. You see how mad they were? But why are they saying it now? And did they say it before Trump won the election? I didn't even know that Ayanna Presseley was even still in Congress. You know what I'm saying? Until now. So we need to be cognizant of those things. Shannon says, respond to keep my foot on the next until we get what we want and what we need. That's the promise right there. Okay, got you. Nyama, you say, yes, indeedy. My dad says that like that. He used to. Yes, indeedy, weedy. 30 says, the exit polls show 21% of Black men and 9% of Black women voted against Harris. That's a 30% nationwide. And that's not including the ones that sat it out. If they want to win another election, bend the knee and kiss the ring. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to. But of course, says, now it's our turn. Let's fight for our God. Absolutely. Roz, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. He says, I'll go back and replay. I always miss the notifications. Yeah, I don't even think notifications work on YouTube anymore. I really don't, because I never get them either. Diane says the United States need to stay out of other countries' business. They are bullies. Now, you know, they can't do that. That's why the world is effed up, because the United States big nose. Yickelboy says Obama gave them full house in the card game to stop his own mouth. Damn. Sherry says, now you have Hispanics talking about they should be with us. I guess now a lot of them know that they are going to be deported now that they're trying to get us to go out and protest against and on their behalf. I'm hoping my people don't fall for the okie doke, because they think just like the white man, if they were able to get up once again, they will stand on us. We're the only people that's for everybody but ourselves. No, I totally agree with you. That's not our fight, because they've told us so many years. I don't want to ally with the black man. Let him fight his own battles. That's what they said. So we hear you. Facts, not feelings. How you doing? It says peace and love, family. Ukraine started oppressing Russia speakers in 2014 and deleted them like white supremacists. That's blacks in the U.S. In 2018, Russia said, hold my beer. Let me take care of these Nazis in Ukraine. Yeah, but they don't tell that side of the story, right? Siku, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Patrice, I always want to call you Patricia. Patrice, how you doing? Raynard, what's going on with you? Says, notice how they're trying to minimize the effect of the black vote of this election. Yeah, but we ain't stupid. We know exactly what happened. Facts, not feeling says there's a small biological difference between a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old. It's biological, yes. Mental, no. Chronologically, they're adults at 18. The age of majority in most states is 18. But in every way, shape, or form, they're still kids. They're still kids. They think like kids. They haven't had enough experience to not still be considered kids. Which is why, unfortunately, in our community, we have no problem kicking 18-year-olds out the house, because we see them as adults, and they're not adults. Because for one, we haven't equipped them to go out into the world and stay on their 2 feet. We just feel like, oh, you 18 now, I'm about to go do me. But they're kids. And then when we set them out on the world at 18, we traumatize them. So I say that to say, yes, 17 is close to being 18 in age, but nothing else. And I don't ever want us, and I'm not saying y'all, but I don't ever want us to get that messed up, because I don't think any grown man or grown woman, vice versa, however it is, should be messing with anybody who's 17, 18, yeah, you're an adult, whatever. I think it's still cringy on either behalf. A woman messing with an 18-year-old boy and a man messing with an 18-year-old girl is still cringy to me. But anything below that, yeah, there's no excuse to be doing it. None. And we shouldn't try to make excuses to do it. I'm just saying, because we all know somebody who's 17, a family member, daughter, niece, a close friend of the family, and we would rue the day that we find out that a grown man is treating her like a trampoline in all of her immaturity. You know what I mean? Her body is not even really equipped to be doing all of that. You know what I mean? It's a lot. I forget the body, but the mind. It's an emotional and mental, to me, emotional and mental abuse to be with somebody that young, because they don't know what you know. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not, trying to point the finger at nobody, but I feel strongly about that kind of stuff. Because it just, this stuff is avoidable for a lot of people. 17-year-old, a lot of cases you still can go to jail for. They're still considered minors. I know in some states, no, but a lot of them, yeah. The first ethnic says, why is that person trying to justify? Oh, statutory, cut it out. That's weird. Sunlight, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Candy, how are you? Hope you're doing well. But of course it says I get notifications, but remember I'm in DC, y'all, so maybe they like you better than us. I get no notifications on nobody. Darnell says they won't win another one. Their focus, it says, where'd it go? Their focus is only putting money in other nations and doing stuff for LGBT and illegals. Well, it has been, right? Georgia Rose, where you been? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Darren, what's going on with you? Says, hey, Demetri, we need to have babies and get healthy again in this time, family. Yeah, we do. And when we say we mean y'all, because I can't have babies. The factory is shut down. But y'all need to be fruitful and multiply. I don't mind babysitting for an hour or two. You go to the grocery store or something, but you need to come on back, okay? Because Glotadine don't got it like that no more. Glotadine don't got the energy she used to have. Come get your kids. Come get your kids. So, Tanza, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. D, what's going on? Buckhorse says they're trying to hit us from every angle. Ain't nothing new to my people. We gonna fix the program as usual. You better believe it. Patty Brown says facts. Sunlight says that's sad. Sad. Sorry, community still pushing, trying to sleep with young girls. Yeah, I don't think it was as much as pushing. Just maybe asking questions. But yeah, just I hope I'm clear on that, because what happens is when we try to justify the line, then eventually we'll cross over it. And that's what the problem is, wait till that girl gets good and grown, where she can make some good decisions and explore life, and boys too. Because like I said, it happens the other way around. Let them go off and figure out life on their own, without being managed by an adult who's been an adult for a long time, because it becomes manipulation in some sense. And I don't like the word grooming as much, because people misapply that word to people who made bad decisions, right? But in that case, it can look like grooming. Yikuba says, yeah, we get put out the house when an inheritance or without an inheritance or knowledge of the world. Yeah, and it's wrong. Sherry says that was the worst thing our government could have done. If you tell our children that they're grown at 18, we know they did this so they can ship them off to these wars they start. But if they were so grown, then they can't go to the liquor store until they're 21. Somebody make it make sense. I have an 18 and 17-year-old granddaughter, and the 18-year-old thinks she's grown. She's doing too much. Yeah, and that happens, right? So in that case, she might, not saying her specifically, but somebody like her might, see an old, super old triple OG man out there and think, oh, I'm grown. And she's going to get taken through some things that she's not ready to be taken through, right? And a lot of grown women ain't ready to be taken through that kind of stuff. But especially an 18-year-old, yeah, it behoove her to sit down somewhere. Tell her, sit down and think about what it is you want to do with your life, because you go, doing stuff you ain't ready for. It's going to take you forever to get back to normalcy, whatever that even is, right? Buckhorse, you think Puff Daddy coming home? I don't know. I know he was supposed to be having a hearing today, a bail hearing. So we'll see if not already, right? And Sunlight says, well, I'm finger wagging. Corey says we should not be helping other people. Yep, especially unless we help ourselves, right? Darnell says America is a sinking ship family. Yep. Yakuba says, mama gotta have a life too. Is that what they say, Sister D? Yeah, but damn, you didn't teach your kids nothing. Especially nowadays, you got the kids on tablets and cell phones and in front of the TV. You ain't talking to them. You ain't reading to them. You ain't teaching them nothing. Then when they turn 18, you got to go. Mama got you. Mama got some things she trying to do. She got an itch that needs to be scratched. It's like, so you putting these kids out and you kept them ignorant the whole time you were supposed to be mothering them, right? Raising them and all of that. So that's where I think the crime is. It's crazy. Patrice says, I received my party affiliation application. It says I modified from Democrat to unaffiliated. There you go. We should all be doing that, right? Independent at the least, so that they cannot assume our vote. Marcus says they're saying Elon is buying MSNBC. Joy is catching a pink slip. Is he really doing that? I mean, he has the money, right? Like he's the wealthiest man in the world. James, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Dear self, how are you? Tonza says having babies been over. I'm enjoying my grandkids. I don't have any grandkids yet. I have great nieces and nephews. But yeah, when and if I ever do get grandkids, yeah, they can come over and see Grandy. That's what they're going to call me, Grandy. Come on and see Grandy. They might be able to stay a weekend every once in a while. But yeah, you going to have to come on back, because I don't have the patience like I used to. I used to watch all my brother's kids, my daughter. I take like 6 kids to the store sometimes. And then even their own parents be like, how do you do it? How don't know you so good? Because y'all want to know my secret here. I'll tell y'all my secret. Before I would take the kids to the store, they was little. I give them all up. What was that for? There's more where that came from if you get to acting up. And they were so good. It wasn't hard. It was just, enough to get their attention. Like, yeah, there's more where that came from. If I got to talk to you, you're going to get the other half of that. So I'm good with kids. I just don't have the patience like I used to. let's see, Yikobo says, what is your thoughts on adults being put on psychologists since they were teenagers? So seeing a psychologist since they were teenagers, I think everybody should see a therapist every once in a while, at least once in your life. I've gone to therapy once or twice in my life. I didn't need to go anymore because I understood the assignment, right? But I think everybody should go, especially if you're having some problems, making sense of life or whatever, because sometimes you can't talk to your parents or the pastor or whatever it is. And listen, the pastor ain't a psychologist unless they have a psychology degree. But even then, they gonna run back and tell your mama and them everything and throw some holy water on you. So sometimes you got to go talk to a psychologist so you can just make sense of things, or whatever the case is. But I don't have a problem with it. But psychiatric drugs, some of them need it. But I think it's overprescribed nowadays because it's a hustle. So you have to be careful of that. You take your kid to a psychologist and they talk about going to a psychiatrist. Psychiatrist is the one that can administer medication. You want to be careful with that. So, Facts Not Feeling says, when I was a kid about 16 and dating this girl, 17, things got heated between me and her. And it felt like I fell into a sinkhole. That girl was with men way older than me. She just did not tell me. There you go. See, so you're 16, she's 17, she had more experience. I get all of that, but she abused what she learned. You said you fell into a sinkhole, so whatever it is she learned from those guys wasn't good because she didn't apply it to you in a way that made you feel like it wasn't a sinkhole, right? So that's what I'm saying. So a kid that's 17 that's messing with older people, whether it's men or women, they're not equipped to do that. I'm 53 years old. If I'm messing with somebody who's 18, hell, I got all those decades, over them. I've been through a whole lot of stuff. So what do we really have in common? Only that one thing, right? That's the only thing I can think of. Where we're going to sit and contemplate the meaning of life together. You just got here, I've been here for a minute. So what do we have in common other than that? And then in that is like, okay, now this is what you do. You know what I mean? So Rod says, I don't think 18-year-olds should be able to sign contracts either. Not enough life experience. I agree. I think they should have to demonstrate that they're able to do that because they only buy houses and cars and stuff, but a lot of times they get into contracts that they really didn't really read the fine writing and all that other stuff. So yeah, I agree. But 18 is the age of majority, So what can you do? Dear Self says, I wonder why everyone is silent about Biden popping off World War III. This is because we're so distracted by everything else. We're distracted by any and everything else you could think of. Like I said, the weekend is coming. People's looking at what bar they going to, how many people they going to hang out with, and they're not thinking about, people talking about nukes. That was never supposed to happen. That was supposed to be something we just have right here, just in case. We're going to keep them under lock and key, though. Now they talking about, we dusted them off. So, it's Yikaway says psychosis. Explain that exactly. What do you mean by psychosis? Donnie says, no habla español. Okay. Sky Dancer says, as granddaughter, almost 18, and she had a plan A, B, C, and D, or A, B, and C, silence. Well, am I asking you, Sky Dancer, was she taught about having a plan A, B, or C? Because we forget they're 18, but what have they been doing? They've been weathering all, high school, junior high, elementary, and all the other things in between there. So they turn 18. Yeah, a lot of times if we don't prepare them for that, of course they're going to be. I didn't think about that. I don't know. I just know I'm hungry right now. What are we eating for dinner? We haven't taught them about a plan B. So we need to be teaching them that from the cradle. We can't wait until they're junior high school and say, okay, we got to have, you leaving when you're 18, right? That's abusive. So if she hasn't been taught to be thinking about any plans, then that's kind of her parents' fault. You know what I mean? All right. So let me skip down because it is 8 after. I said I was getting out of here in an hour. James said, sister, I seen that last video when the sister said we FBA should have our own 2025 project, Black Project 2025, and I agree 100%. For starters, we rebuild Black Wall Street and still tight, he says still tight security. Yeah, I agree. I like her plan. I just hate that it came from Kamala losing, because if Kamala didn't lose, then would anybody be talking about these Black Project 2025s and all these other things? It needs to be coming from a place of, regardless of who was in that White House, we need to be practicing group economics, right? MC Fact, how you doing? Says, did you miss the Jasmine Crockett discussion? You did. We about to get out of here. You could go back and watch it over though. Arson says, thinking at any age when we can date a woman who's 18 just because it's legal makes no sense. As with slavery, legal never meant good. Morally, they're still children and it's still predatory, feels wrong. I'm so glad you said that. It does. It is. And I'm not judging nobody. I'm just saying it is very predatory because y'all know she's silly and she's supposed to be silly. She's a kid. You know, she doesn't know what, you know, or vice versa. The young kid. And I know a lot of men who said their first time was with a very older woman. An older woman. Like I know one guy said he was 13 and his schoolmate's mom was 36 and she was picking him up off the bus stop every day. Said it was his first time with everything, which is why he ended up probably becoming a pimp later on. Like he was real, you know, because like that messes with a kid. You're that young and this grown woman is taking advantage of your body and you are barely getting to know your own body. And there she is. Hey, how you doing? Get in the car. You know, she should have been brought up on charges, but, you know, boys, unfortunately, are taught, well, why are you complaining? Where was she at when I was 13? We hear that a lot and it's wrong. So, Dear Self says, no, none of this is new. A lot of people's grandfather was way older than their grandmas. People then were way mature, unlike today generations. And I know today we are way more aware of it's inappropriate. Yeah. And some argue that it was inappropriate then, which is why they changed the laws. Because back then you can marry a 12-year-old as a 40-something-year-old man, you know, and that was perfectly fine because there was no laws in place. But then society got a little bit wise and said, yeah, she should be a kid. She should be a kid, you know, at least to the age of 18, she could grow because you figure at a 12-year-old, you're just now hitting puberty. Your body is going through a whole lot of changes. And there you have a 40-something-year-old man hopping up and down on you, putting babies in you. Where on earth is that right? Now, I know they do that in a lot of other places in the world, but I don't think it's right there. But what can you do about it? But it's wrong. So, American Holocaust survivor, how you doing? It says, I have an issue with Jasmine Crockett, Caribbean, is she Caribbean? It says, using my lineage experiences here to help promote people of color DEI. He says, we don't benefit. It's offensive being born an anchor. It doesn't give her the right to. I didn't know that. So she's Caribbean. Facts I feel it says, I don't think Demetra understands how deep and wide that sinkhole was. Apparently you didn't because you almost got lost in it. James says we should build our own hospitals, grocery stores, our own banks, credit unions, our own private schools for our children so they could probably be properly educated and so on and so on. Yeah, well, that's what we should be doing, right? All right, so, okay, so Yikaway says psychosis hinders growth. You sleep your life away. Got it. Yeah, then that's wrong. You know, they should be able to go through the growing pains so they can understand why they're going through those growing pains. See, I'm starting to sweat now. Woo! Michelle, how you doing? Says Crockett is an activist. I think she's unprofessional. Yeah, I think so too. But if I say that too loud, people get mad at me. Yikova says, by the time you escape from family making bank off of you, you're picked up where you left off, 16, 17 extra. Okay. Buckhart says, it said 15, you learned a lot. Yeah, and I hope it wasn't the way I just described, but that's sad, right? He says, I'm cool. She was 24. You was mature. 15 is not mature. Would you be all right? I'm asking Buckhorse, would you be all right with your 15-year-old son if you had a 15-year-old son being used and abused by a 24, 36-year-old woman? I don't know. Arson says anything like kicking children out the house right at 18 and charging them bills is something blacks like to do, but it's on a larger scale, it slows down potential growth for our children. Yeah, no other community does that like we do, right? As soon as they're 18, hit the road. Get your knapsack and get to going. Don't care nothing about them. Don't care that you put them out there to struggle. That's why I see a lot of our girls who put out the house at 18. They end up doing some strange stuff for change, end up hooking up with older men, end up, stripping and doing a whole lot of stuff they wouldn't ordinarily learn how to do because we haven't taught them to do anything. We didn't teach them anything about economics, homemaking, none of that. Didn't teach them a skill. Didn't teach them nothing. Just, you got to go. You kept them in the house till they were 18 and let them do whatever and didn't learn anything. And now they got to go. And then you mess them up. And then that's why a lot of times the jails are full because those kids get out there and they have to do things for money that's not legal and they end up in the the system. And then you got a mom or dad pointing the finger when nobody told you to be doing all of that. But it's like you put me out when I wasn't ready. There's a lot of wolves out there in the streets looking for people who are fresh and wet behind the ears to use them. So it's sad. A lot of human trafficking and all that kind of stuff goes on. Brother Reggie, how you doing? Yeah, I actually got on here a little late, but I'm about to get out of here though in just a minute. Michelle says, but I hope you're having a great day there in Japan, and go to 7-Eleven for me just once. Michelle says, did you see that Kamala gave Oprah over to, yes, $2.5 million, not $1 million like originally reported. Yeah, but Oprah saying it was for my staff. But yeah, that was Kamala's campaign saying, well, she actually got $2.5 million. Facts Not Feeling says, Black people, nuclear war, civilization ending event. Russia tested a new missile on the battlefield in Ukraine, and it hit the target at 6,800 miles per hour. It looked like lightning rise from God. I saw that. Yeah, that's the stuff we need to be paying attention to. Brother Don says, trying to dance underwater and not get wet. MC Factor says, is Crockett Caribbean? Can someone confirm this? I'm going to try to look it up. I didn't know. Townsend says, back during them times, it was the way of life. Sad the children youth was snatched away from them. Yeah, they were expected to go, marry a guy that was significantly older than them and be a homemaker and have children at, 12. I couldn't imagine. I'd have ran away from home. Like, I'm not doing it. Sorry. Stone me. Whatever you need to do to me, I'm not doing it. Thunder says that's what happened to Iceberg Slim. Yes. And thank you to DK for mentioning what happens to some men on the Steve Harvey show. He told his story and the woman was in the audience and they clapped and cheered. See, that's what I'm talking about. I saw a video the other day as I was scrolling on Facebook. There's some big booty sister. She bent over, getting laundry out the dryer, and there's a little baby, probably 1 year old, and she's got on these booty shorts. And the baby is kind of stuck looking like, and all the adults are laughing. To the point of they filmed it and put it on the internet, and she got the shorts jugged all the way up her butt. And she's like, boy, what you looking at? And they all laughing and stuff. And I'm like, why don't you have any clothes on in the first place? They thought it was funny. But as somebody made a good point in that thread, now imagine if that was a man and he had his visible in front of a little girl, the internet would have just exploded. But boys don't get that same protection, and it's sad. It is. The first ethnic, he says, I'm sorry, but some of the mods need counseling. Just saying, well, what's going on here? Y'all tell me, what am I missing? Brother Sammy, how you doing? Says, I was encouraged to go with an older grown woman when I was about 8 years old. He says, I ran, they laughed. Maybe they were playing, but I remember, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Even as young as 8, that it's funny. He. And it's like, what's funny about abusing children? It's disgusting. But it had to been the other way around, Brother Sammy. Oh, yeah, that man would have been under the jail right now. Still to this day. It's not funny when it's the other way around, but when women do it to boys, it's, oh, he ain't gonna, at least we know he ain't gonna be gay. They say that kind of stuff. Ross says, I don't know whether or not people were more mature back then, but I do believe that the patriarchy was much stronger. So it was easier for older men to be with younger girls. Yeah, the patriarchy is strong now, but yeah, you're right. It was much stronger, and somebody got some sense somewhere and said, yeah, let's knock it off. Michelle says, I didn't mean to put that. That's okay. I knew you wasn't talking about me, Michelle. I knew. Sky Dancer says, you're correct on point. Thank you. But says, Michael, just erase your mistake. Oh, no, yeah, sometimes if you erase it on my end, I still see it for whatever reason. So, yeah, I knew what you meant. Arson says, once again, happy I got to see beautiful Demetro. Thank you on Friday. You said you're leaving soon. So until Sunday, enjoy your weekend. I know I said that like 10 minutes ago. Thunder says, family, just in case, stock up on food and water and communication. Yep. Jacob's descendant, how you doing? Says it was sickening. Buckhart says, I was shown the history of America, and all you're going to have is the Black woman. Back then, the law was different. Yes. Sherry says, I was a teenage mother twice. When I was 15 and 17, my children's father was 17. He said, I lied to him and told him I was 16. He didn't know until my mother told him. He didn't live in the same neighborhood. So yes, these girls lie, but I looked like I was just 12 years old. Then one of my friends said he asked her how old I was. Hell, I lied to her too, trying to be grown, but I don't blame him. I blame me. Yeah, well, he was 17 as well. So he was a kid. 15, 17 is not that far off. But yeah, see, but to your point, girls do lie. But if you just ask a couple of more questions, let me go meet your parents. Yeah, and y'all be knowing if they kind of look younger, you know, your spidey senses go off like, she telling me she 18, but she opened her mouth, she sound like she 12. Can we go meet your mom and daddy? You know, something like dig deeper before you dig deeper. Darian says most get turned out in college. You got C's to train your children. Black man say you got to train your children. Absolutely. Thank you, American Holocaust survivor. Thank you. And Corey, yes, so sad. First, Saba, how you doing? Says, man, that new Kendrick, they got not like us. Part 2, squabble, straight fire, keep strong. So he dropped a part 2. Oh wow. I got so much to say about that, but I'm not, because I don't want to start another conversation up in here. But maybe one day. And I like Kendrick Lamar. I saw him in 2014 in Riverside, California. I didn't like his performance, so I left. But I like, like him obviously, but it was just kind of weird. But I think that's kind of Kendrick's style. Now that I, know, I'm glad he's having a lot of success with They Not Like Us. But I'm sad that he's having a lot of success with They Not Like Us, because it's about another man. You know what I mean? You cannot cede success to Kendrick and really DJ Mustard, because it was his beat, right? His track, without thinking about Drake. And Kendrick Lamar is great all by himself, but he released a song not too long ago. Nobody's talking about that song at all. I don't remember the name of it. He released a song. It was out there for a day or two, and nobody talks about it. But the minute you hear it, everybody loses their mind. But it's like, what about all the other stuff? His catalog is crazy, right? But is Kendrick going to be able to release any more music after that and not be compared to a song about Drake, another man? I'm just asking, because I just be asking questions. Anyway, Buckhorse says, I agree. My son not going to be flipping if I can help it. Yeah, so you won't want a grown woman to do that to your son. So there you go. Thompson says that's an issue today, that some of these young ladies have no morals or self-respect for themselves, dressing so provocative. That's where the Glodadine, such as myself, Glodadine Jenkins, that's my name for my very older lady. I don't know who Glodadine is, but that's where we come in, right? I know you're not gonna wear that. Where you going with that on? Oh, I can see all your breasts, legs, and thighs. No, ma'am. Do you could, but should you? My daughter's 31. She doesn't dress like that, but sometimes she'll ask me questions. Like she went to Camp Flognog this past weekend or whatever. And so they wear different things. She's like, what about this? What about that? I said, you could, but should you? She said, yeah, you're right, Mom. So that's where we come in. We just let them go out the door. They might as well use the body while they got it. It's like, yeah, but you can see everything. Like I had good grandma and good mama. It's like, no, I don't think you should be wearing that. You don't have no stockings, a slip, because we can see through that. And even if you couldn't see through it, you need to have a slip on, right? So we need to get back to that. I'm just saying. Stephen James, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Nickelboy says, yes, they lie and get people jammed up. Check ID, talk to their mama, their daddy, their grandmama, and people that know them. She 12. She said she lying. She ain't no 17. She 12. Because I know people get caught up, but did you ask questions? I'm just asking. Michelle, he says, I'm a jazz girl. I'm a jazz girl too. I love all music. I really love jazz. Yes, I love jazz. Patty Brown says, yep, it's here on YouTube, on the tube, okay? Dawn says, her mind is telling me no. Yeah, but her body is, yeah. Her body got to tell you yes first, and her mama and her daddy. They got to tell you yes first before the body tell you yes. So you're right about that. That's the ideology, right? Jacob, you say, When I was younger, my mom left me with multiple female friends and I was SA'd. My mind blocked out certain events up to this day in my early 30s. So yes, boys need to be protected. Yeah, and I'm sorry that happened to you. But I've spoken to quite a few men who are SA'd by, like you said, their mama's friends, the aunties or the lady across the street or whatever it is. And, boys are taught that don't happen to boys. If that happened to you, you should consider yourself fortunate. That happened to you. What you complaining for? But the other way around, they won't bury him up under the house, which they should, right? They should bury her as well. Jesse, how you doing? Brother Reddy says, and where your slip at? You know what I'm saying? Where your slip? Michelle says, did anyone ever think of Keith Sweat's song? I think it says, you're young. Yes. You may be young, but you're ready. Yeah, you listen. I was in 11th grade when that song came out. I missed a lot of curfews because of Keith Sweat. Nevertheless, yeah, as an adult, when you listen to that song, it's like, yeah, Keith, what you talking about? Says, didn't pay attention to the lyrics when I was younger, but now in my mid-50s, I pay attention to the lyrics. Same here. It's like, yeah, we made that song go up the chart, didn't we? The whole damn album. Yep, says it's Hattie Mae, Sister Demetria, Hattie Mae, Glow D, and all of them. We need to tap into our inner Hattie Mae's. Steven says, salute to all in the chat. Hope everybody's doing well. Same to you. Townsend says, they don't leave nothing to the imagination. Well, it's up to us to say, leave something to the imagination. Diane, how you doing? He says, you just joined in. We about to leave. Hickleboy says, the older women like the younger, and the younger female like the older. You be an eternal virgin. Maybe I have to reread that when I have some time. It says, the older women like the younger, and the younger female like the older you will be. I don't know what, you might have to re-clarify that one. FM, he says, that was a ton of questionable. There was the 70s too. There was Sarah Smile says she's got a what is it? She got a woman's face with a with a baby eyes, or girl eyes, or something. But yeah, they had a whole lot of songs about 17. Back then it's like, I guess that was, and I don't know, 17, like she's barely legal, but she's desirable. Like, what is that about? There's a lot of inappropriate songs back then. Yeah. IUIC, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. It says, check the ID and come on now. Check the ID and the STDs. Because they do be having STDs. Like I said, how in the hell did they get HIV hot and popping out here in Houston again? That was supposed to be on the decline. They talking about it's on the rise out here. Syphilis too. It's like, what y'all doing? Who y'all doing? Y'all bringing back stuff that's supposed to be like not even a thing like that anymore. It's crazy. First of all, you says, totally agree with in regards to liking Kendrick's different generation than us. X not like his music at first, but when he dropped Not Like Us, that was different. Like through West Coast rap music. Yeah, I mean, I liked them even before They Not Like Us. I actually don't like They Not Like Us. It's all right. It gets on my nerves every time I hear it. I'm like, me and my daughter both, and she loves Kendrick as well. She's seen him more times than I have, but we're both just like racing to the radio to try to turn the station. Like, no. We don't want to eat, because in your mind is I think it's like a social experiment or something. But yeah, I hope that doesn't become Kendrick's defining legacy. Is that this song? I would argue that it's a great this song. That's what they do in rap. But is it going to define him? Will his next projects be just as great as They Not Like Us? I think that's what the questions we have to really think about if we care that much. Darnell says, why people think they fought for these trans to use bathrooms and didn't think about these kids? This is one sick country. Yeah, because that's what you call just woke to the point of you need to go back to sleep. appeasing one community over, and I don't want to say normal because they take exception to that, but we've been doing it this way forever. Women use the women's restroom, men use the men's restroom. Why don't they just make a trans restroom? I don't know. I guess maybe they don't really want people to know, I guess. And I probably wouldn't know some of these people. I wouldn't, because when I go into a public restroom, which is rare, I don't be looking around for people like, let me see Adam's apple. Lift up your skirt. Like, I don't even do it. I just make a beeline, try to find the cleanest bathroom so I don't get grossed out, use it and wash my hands and leave. You know what I mean? But I mean, if that's a thing, then they should probably make their own bathroom. I guess. I don't know. Darren, you say Rick James. And let's see. The first evidence says, I heard that the rise in STDs is due to illegal alien activity. Not sure of the validity though. Yeah, I think it's probably amongst everybody, they probably have something to do with it as well, but I'd have to pass on all of that. Frank says, laugh out loud, they hyped that song up. They did, and I don't think it did Kendrick Lamar good service because he's dope, right? People put him as a top 3, whatever. That's how good people think that he is, but this becomes your defining moment. I feel sad for him, Jacobo says the younger females was hollering at the older boys, got you, and the older girls like them older than them. It's taxing to find a female that date her age back then. I dated somebody that was my age. We're in the same grade, but yeah, I know those girls. They want to be with the older men because the older men or boys or older guys, rather, they had the cars and a little bit of money. They can supersize them something at McDonald's, and the younger boys typically couldn't do that. They had to ask permission to go to the mall and stuff, but the older dudes didn't have to do that. But yeah. First of all, you says, yes, it drives me crazy now. Yeah, I can't. I cannot. So anyway, and Frank says, I like him more than Eminem, though. Oh, yeah. Eminem, and now he's the one they not like us, right? Yeah, I like Kendrick Lamar. I like Drake, too. I like them both. Like I said, I understand rap beef. I'm not a stranger to it. I just think this thing kind of went somewhere else, and I think Kendrick Lamar, every time he gets an accolade, whether it's Grammys or the Super Bowl performance or whatever it is, it's like you did that on the name of another man. Just kind of how I see it. I mean, I get them saying, he's an imposter and all that. I don't get too far into that, but there's a song by Low Profile. Now, I might be speaking above some of y'all heads before y'all time. Low Profile album came out in 1989, I think it was. Pay Your Dues. Now, that song speaks to what I think Kendrick was trying to say about Drake and Eminem's and those people like that. And it's funny because Kendrick and Eminem, they're under the same label, Dre, for lack of better words, but he don't have nothing to say about Eminem, and they not like us, but he's mad at Drake for whatever reason it is. But when I think about, I think it's Pay Your Dues, my Low Profile is like, yeah, I think that's what he was trying to say. If y'all get a chance to listen to that, a very dope and dynamic group. I think they're from the West Coast as well. Sherry says, I did not understand that song. They're not like us because Drake is a black man. After all, even if he does have a white mother, he has a black father. And about the one drop rule. The song should have been about other people, not about another black man. But I don't listen to this new school rap. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I just think it was a little bit more going on, trying to disqualify Drake as a black man. I think it's silly, but a lot of people, fell into that. Now I'm like, y'all might want to check your jealousy is showing a little bit. Like, what is it about it? Because he's clearly black. His daddy is black as hell. His uncle is Larry Graham. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are we talking about? Brother Samuel says, when there's a rise in disease in our community, part of me believes it's being pushed on us about about to be by those who want to take us out. Yeah, but it's up to us to say, no, ma'am, no, sir, nah. So you won't be getting that. The heebie-jeebies, little homies down there. Tuesday Johnson, how you doing? Says Kamala was 26 and old man Willie was 60 when you crazy, he was blowing her tires out before he set her up in politics. Yeah, he's 90 something now. She just turned 60. So she was, I guess, grown enough. I think that's young to be with a man that old, but she was grown enough. But yeah, that's a great example. But she was like, I'll let old Willie do what he got to do so I can get to where I need to go. And it worked out for her. Low profile, Yakuba. Low profile. Pay your dues. I think that's what Kendrick was trying to say. More than him not being black. I think that's what he should have. If he was going to make that argument, he should have went, y'all listen to that song and you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. It's one of the dopest groups ever to me. Low profile. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, that album was iconic. Anyway, and Michelle says AIDS was created in the lab in Italy. I think at least Italy. At least that's what a scientist who used to work with Fauci said. I believe anything, and now they can't get it back in the Petri jar. So anyway, I'm gonna get out here. Love and appreciate every last one. I'll be back here on Sunday. I don't know what we'll talk about, but I'm sure it'll be great because you guys will be here. In the meantime, if you guys want to donate and help the channel, you can. There's ways to do so. If not, please like, subscribe, and all the other wonderful things you do. Thank you so much, moderators, for holding down the comment section. You are loved and appreciated. In the meantime, I will see you guys on Sunday. Peace.